All right, let's dive in. Today we're talking about something that's, a huge hurdle for so many people learning a new language. It's not just about speaking English. It's about speaking it with real, genuine confidence. So let's get right to it.
You know that feeling, right? That awful moment where you open your mouth to say something in English and poof, the words are just gone. Or maybe you're so caught up worrying about grammar that you totally lose track of what you actually wanted to say. If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. We call that the confidence gap, and it's the thing that holds so many of us back. But here's the thing, and this is a really crucial mindset shift. We're not chasing after some idea of perfect fluency way off in the distance. No, the real, reachable goal is confidence. And the best news? It's not some magic talent you're born with, it's a skill. And just like any other skill, you can build it one habit at a time. So here's our roadmap. We're going to break this down into 5 super practical habits that can totally change how you speak English. We'll talk about putting your ideas first, not grammar, the surprising power of your speaking pace, why simple words are your best friend, the secret weapon of practicing in private, and finally, the big one, changing your goal from perfection to connection.
Okay, let's kick things off with the biggest confidence killer out there, obsessing over grammar. That little voice in your head that's constantly checking rules while you're trying to talk. We need to quiet that voice. This first habit is all about shifting your focus. Look at the difference here. Anxious learners are always stuck inside their own heads, hunting for the perfect grammar, second-guessing every word, but confident speakers, they're focused on one thing and one thing only, getting their idea across, and they usually do it with simple, direct language. So how do you actually do this? Well, it breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, just make a deal with yourself to use short, clear sentences. Second, you have to really accept that small mistakes are going to happen. It's part of the process. And finally, always remember your real job is to communicate a message, not to pass some imaginary grammar test.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Clarity beats correctness in real communication. In the real world, being understood is so much more important than being perfectly correct. That's the real win.
All right, moving on to habit number 2, mastering your pace. A lot of us think that speaking fast means you're fluent, but honestly, a lot of the time, it's just a sign of nervousness. Real confidence often shows up in calm, deliberate speech. And the difference is something you can actually feel. When you rush, you sound nervous, maybe a little unsure, but when you pause, take a breath, you give your words weight. You let your ideas really land with the person you're talking to, and that makes you sound thoughtful and completely in control. And get this, you don't even need to make a huge change. Just by slowing down your speech by about 10 or 15%, which is barely even noticeable, you can make a massive difference in how confident you sound, not just to other people, but to yourself too. So to put this into practice, just start by consciously trying to speak a little bit slower. Then, start using pauses, especially right after you make an important point. And finally, just try to adopt the mindset that you're calmly explaining something important, because, well, you are. This is really the key here. Your pace is one of the quickest ways to project confidence. A calm pace does all the heavy lifting for you, making you sound more confident and intelligent without you even trying. Okay, on to our third habit, and this is a big one. It's all about the words you choose. So many of us fall into this trap of trying to use these big, fancy words because we think it'll make us sound smarter. But what usually happens? We just end up hesitating and tripping over ourselves. And again, it's all about the approach. Anxious learners are often searching for these complex, decorative words. Confident speakers, on the other hand, they stick to the words they know, the words they fully control. Why? Because their goal is clear communication, not just fancy decoration. Just think about these simple swaps. Instead of trying to say, in my considered opinion, just say, I think. It's faster, clearer, and way more direct. Instead of pausing to remember a word like complication, just say problem. It's strong, simple, and confident. This really sums it up perfectly. When you own the words you use, you own your confidence. It's about mastering the tools you already have, not fumbling with ones you've just borrowed. Now for habit number 4. Practice in private. It's funny, we'd never expect a musician to perform on stage without rehearsing, right? Well, speaking is exactly the same. It's a physical skill. Your confidence is built long before you ever walk into that real conversation. See, a lot of learners just kind of wait around for a real conversation to happen, which turns every single chat into a high-stakes test. But confident speakers, they take a totally different approach. They rehearse. They build that muscle memory for words and phrases in a safe, private space where there's zero pressure. And you can literally start doing this today. It only takes 5 or 10 minutes a day. Seriously, just talk to yourself in English. Describe your day, talk about your plans, share your opinion on a movie. You can even record it on your phone and listen back, not to judge yourself, but just to hear your own voice.
And that's really what it's all about. You're training your mouth, your tongue, your brain, getting them all to work together smoothly. That physical practice is what builds that effortless confidence for when it really counts. Okay, this last habit, this is the big one. It's kind of the master key that makes all the other habits click into place. If you really want to become a confident speaker, you have to change the fundamental goal of what you're trying to do.
This is probably the most important mental switch you can make. The anxious learner thinks, if I make one mistake, I've failed. Their goal is perfection, which is totally impossible. But the confident speaker thinks, if the other person understands what I'm trying to say, I've succeeded. Their goal is just communication. When you make that simple switch, that fear of making mistakes, it just starts to melt away.
So, let's redefine what confidence actually is. It's not a talent. It is a skill. And it's a skill that grows every single day with a bit of practice, by using simple language, by keeping a calm pace, and, maybe most importantly, by just being a little kind to yourself along the way.
And that brings us to the end. I want to leave you with one simple question. Forget about being perfect. Forget about using complex language. What is one simple idea, one simple thought that you're going to share with someone in English today? Go on, give it a try.